If you don't think that there's steroids in the NFL, or at least that it's not common, look at this. Brock Lesnar has been caught for taking a steroid masking agent with the UFC. He was arrested for having a, quote, large amount of HGH in 2001, and when he was on the Minnesota Vikings in 2004, he looked like he was just some guy. I know Lesnar is probably a descendant of Vikings, so you're telling me Lesnar was the only one juiced up and everyone around him were just the genetic freaks? Hola friends, welcome to Takes en Fuego. Today we look at the steroid regimen of NFL players. Look, I'm not anti-steroids in the NFL. I think when you get crushed by Aaron Donald once a week, or if you're hurling your body at a super athlete running max speed, I think you deserve steroids. A lot of the NFL stars think they do too, including these players. Julius Peppers started his NFL career out with a bang, testing positive for ephedrine during his rookie season. How good is ephedrine at being a PED? Well, it can be converted to meth. This gets the sympathetic nervous system going, getting into a more stressed or more alert state. You could get ephedrine off the shelf at drugstores. Peppers must have just had a lot of them. But what can't be bought at drugstores is whatever Sean Merriman's got going on. It was reported his suspension was, quote, definitely for steroid use and not a supplement type suspension. It was, in fact, nandrolone. This is one of the most popular steroids in the performance enhancement field. This suspension led to what's sometimes known as the Merriman Rule. A player cannot test positive for steroids and make the Pro Bowl in the same year. When your body is pregnant, the placenta produces a lot of HCG, or human chorionic gonadotropin. It helps progress the delivery of a baby out of those walls. This was Brian Cushing's drug of choice in his time with the Texans. Of course, in males it has a totally different effect. It stimulates the testicles to produce more testosterone. The Cushing and JJ Watt pairing was pretty legendary for a few years, and if you watch the Hard Knocks series, you knew Cushing was probably the type of fella to take some PEDs. The next banned substance is bumetanide, a diuretic used to simply mask the presence of steroids. Kevin and Pat Williams used this, assuming it was part of their regimen. They then spent 2.5 years in court before serving their suspension, and he's not the only one. Coming off the New Orleans Saints Super Bowl team, Deuce McAllister, Charles Grant, and Will Smith all tested positive for this drug as well. Again, not a steroid, but does mask them. Aqib Talib took Adderall, helps focus I guess. Von Miller, Julian Edelman, Antonio Gates, Vontaze Burfict took steroids or PEDs, but their regimen is unknown. Le'Veon Bell refused to report for drug tests and then critiqued the NFL in 2019 as he said he has done 5 drug tests in 10 weeks. DeMarcus Lawrence got popped for some amphetamines, activating the sympathetic nervous system and helping with focus and energy. But perhaps the most common PED, at least according to former players, is human growth hormone. Former NFL players say they think 10 to 40% of NFL players take HGH. While HGH is not a steroid exactly, it does certainly what it sounds like. Our body produces it to grow our muscles, tendons, bones, among other things. And when you're a 6'1", 200-pound man, it can help you be a 6'2", 250-pound man pretty quickly. But when you line up every Sunday and you think, you want me to get tackled by that guy? The NFL players come up with every which way to get an advantage. Stimulants and amphetamines, testosterone and testosterone derivatives, Adderall, and then a large chunk which we don't know either because players are taking a masking agent or they are not disclosing what they tested positive for. Keep in mind, this is just what the NFL has a test for as well. What usually happens is the rich tend to get richer in this case. Meaning if you're super wealthy and can afford any PED, which one would you take? The old one that the NFL has a test for? Or the brand new one just developed by a scientist in Russia that no one has a test for or even knows how to pronounce properly? These newly developed steroids can go under the radar for years before the NFL or any other agency for that matter can get a new test for them. For more videos including the NBA players that have been caught for steroids, check out the video on the screen and be sure to subscribe for more PED action.